Greetings and welcome to Education, Innovation and Leadership YouTube channel. It is an educational outreach initiative launched via Facebook and YouTube to inspire the school, college and university students and parents to excel in the areas of education, innovation, leadership and community service. We invite parents and students to share their personal inspiring stories, educational achievement and any other educational resources and materials with other members of the Tamil diaspora community around the world. Please send us your interesting and inspirational stories to our YouTube channel. You can send your stories in a short video clip recording of about 10 to 15 minutes. You can also reach us via Facebook under Education, Innovation and Leadership, or please email your stories to tamils@booster@gmail.com. That is tamilsedbooster@gmail.com. Please subscribe to our YouTube video and continue to watch our YouTube videos every 2 weeks. And today we have a special guest who has agreed to come and share her inspirational stories of educational achievement and community service. Ms. Peraveena Perinpanathan is here today with us. She is from New Brunswick, New Jersey in the United States. She has a tremendous success in her educational career and she has agreed to share her stories with us. Let me give a little background detail of Peraveena Perinpanathan. Peraveena has immigrated to US at her young age to start her primary education in Newark, New Jersey in the United States. She has worked diligently all the way up to her high school graduations while receiving many awards and accolades for her tremendous success in her educational career in and out of school. She has recently graduated from Rutgers University with a Bachelor's of Science in Public Health. She is now taking a gap year before beginning her medical school in 2020. Ms. Peraveena has met tremendous challenges and obstacles in her life, but she still kept on going and overcame those obstacles to successfully complete her education, and now she is working a full-time medical assistant in New Jersey. Ms. Peraveena has shown great passion and interest in working for the poor and the needy ones in her community. She has gone out of her way to help the students in our community with their tutoring and educational needs. And also she visited senior citizen homes and volunteered her time and effort to help them. I have no doubt her inspiring life stories will inspire other students and parents in the Tamil diaspora community. Peraveena continues to help the seniors, the students and others in her community. I am very proud to call her. She is a great successful member in our community. Welcome Peraveena, and thank you for agreeing to come to our studio to share your education and career experiences with the viewers of our YouTube channel, Education, Innovation and Leadership. I have no doubt your stories, your tremendous stories will inspire the youngsters of the Tamil diaspora community around the world.
Well, thank you for having me. It's a pleasure to be here.
Thank you. As you know, that we have recently launched a YouTube channel under the name of Education, Innovation and Leadership to inspire the Tamil youth around the world. and we continue to work towards achieving the success of this YouTube channel. And would you like to add any comment or any feedbacks as to what you foresee that this our initiative will bear fruits in the future, and how do you see this our initiative in the future?
Yeah, so I am aware of the initiative. I think it's a very great step towards helping the Tamil youth in the community. One thing for sure that we've talked about as well is that education should not be a privilege, rather it should be a right. So if there's anything in the community that anyone could share or provide for the students to better themselves, that would be a great opportunity. And one thing that I really like about the initiative is that parents are going to be involved as well. And as you know, it takes a village to raise a child. So having parents involved is really important as well.
Thank you, Peraveena, for your support and great advice for our initiative of the YouTube channel. And I know your advice will really help us, and please continue to give us your advice. Now, moving on to the second issue here now. I know you have gone through the educational system here. You came here to the United States when you were at your age 4, I guess, if I'm not mistaken. So, so you started your primary education and then went on to high school and then got a lot of accolades and grades and awards, and then you went on to complete your university degree in public health.
Correct.
So now, along the way, explain to us and share your experience with the Tamil diaspora community, other youngsters around the world, and what kind of obstacles and challenges that you faced along the way. And I know everyone faces challenges, and what is your own experience and how did you overcome those challenges along the way? And please start with your primary education and then explain to us how you managed to overcome all those obstacles.
Yes, sure.
Yeah.
So with that being said, life is full of challenges and obstacles. So being a human, it's going to be inevitable that everyone faces challenges in some type of way. So for me, first with my primary education, having parents that were not fluent in English was very difficult because I did not get as much help from my parents in either assignments or homework.
Yes.
So I had to stay after school with the teacher to make sure I get it done. So that meant spending extra time than my peers. And in addition to that, my parents couldn't help me and I didn't have a chance to go to a teacher. I had to resort to other family friends who my parents knew. So that meant traveling to their homes, making sure my homework was done. So with that being said, I knew that English was my weak subject because I did not practice it at home. So what I had to do was read more. That's what I did. I read more novels and my parents also encouraged me to read. So reading more novels improved my reading and writing skills. So that's a solution that I found to my problem that I had. Next, I would like to talk about my experience in high school, like my transition from high school to college.
Right.
So growing up in Newark, New Jersey, Newark, it's a great city. I love Newark. However, growing up with the public education in Newark is difficult because you are limited to resources.
Right.
So when I entered Rutgers University and I started off with intensive science courses, for example, my chemistry lab, it was 3 hours of chemistry lab, and most of my peers, everyone knew what was going on because they had the lab experiment done or have completed it prior to coming to Rutgers. So their schools could afford the high-tech equipment, the labs, and the necessary tools. However, with my high school, there weren't as many labs done. So many of my peers during the lab, they would have completed the assignment by an hour or even less than an hour. Myself, I had to take the entire 3 hours to complete the lab. In addition to that, I had to stay with the teaching assistant in order to make sure my lab was correct.
Right.
So what I had to do for that was spend extra time, go the extra mile, and spend the extra time in studying or reviewing in order to pass the class.
Right.
So that was a struggle that I had. Throughout my high school and college career, I also unfortunately lost my mother. So that was, thank you. So that was very difficult because after my mom passed, that's a huge grief because you're losing, a loved one. In addition to that, my father moved out the country as well. So throughout my college career, I had to work 1 or 2 part-time jobs while also taking on intensive science classes or taking on heavier course loads, like 19 credits. So my last semester at Rutgers, I actually took 19 credits and I worked 2 part-time jobs in order to meet my financial needs because I wasn't financially supported by anyone. I had to financially support myself. So that was intensive. Despite that, I still graduated with a 4.0.
Right.
So what I'm trying to say is, if there's a will, there's always a way.
Right.
So as long as you persevere through any of the challenges you may have, you're going to make it. You're going to be successful. No matter what challenges or obstacles you have, there's always a solution. So I guess my key note would be to write down the problem, write down the possible solutions for your situation, and then go through with it.
No, I'm sure, and this is amazing to hear that how much where you started and where you are now. With there's a great upward scales success in your life, and then as I always tell my friends and other students in my community, success in life is measured by the obstacles you overcome. The more problem that you face, the more fight you have to overcome those obstacles, and then now there you are today now with a great success. And your stories will no doubt be a great inspiration for our youngsters, and please continue to work hard in your studies. Thank you.
Thank you.
And moving on to the next issue here now. I know you have come here at your age 4, I think, if I'm not mistaken, you were 4 or 3 or 4 when you came here, and now you not only excelled in English, but you are also very fluent in Tamil, which is very rare case with our children who are growing up in the United States. And you are very fluent in Tamil and English, and I'm very proud of it too. And what factors, if any, that motivated you to become successful in your education, and who are, if any, special stakeholders or parents or teachers, your brothers and sisters who were there to help you out to earn your success so far? Explain to us, how did you, who were your influence to make you great success like this today?
Right. So as I said before, it takes a village to help develop a child or grow a child, right? So that being said, I have several motivators in my life to have helped me be where I am today. So that being said, first and foremost, I would say my parents.
Yes.
Because growing up, I would always hear accounts of how they lived back in Sri Lanka. So they both grew up in a very low income household. So they had several financial difficulties growing up, and hearing their stories of how they struggled through in order to make it to where they are today, that sort of motivated me and inspired me to do better for myself and for my parents as well. Second, I would have to say the members of my community. Several family friends and friends of parents have always encouraged me to do better. So again, their actions and their words always inspire me to go forward or push myself forward as well. In addition to that, I would have to say myself. I motivate myself every day, because every day is a new day and a new beginning where you can improve yourself no matter what. So you know yourself better than anyone else.
Right.
So with that being said, you have to take the initiative. You have to take the initiative to continue and to make yourself better every day.
I love when you said you motivated yourself. That is so great. That is what I want every boys and girls in our community to know, that at the end of the day, it is you who should decide your life.
Right.
And of course, I also respect when you said your parents. You brought your parents and who were there all the way. And unfortunately, I think you have lost your mother, right? Due
That's
to
correct.
cancer.
Yes. Mm-hmm. Yes.
Then and that is, we are so sorry to hear that. But still, you never gave up in your life and came to the top, and then that is a great inspiration for everyone who think that they are disadvantaged. No, it's up to us to make our life better. Thank you for your courage and determination in your educational and career life. Yes. And now, finally, let me ask you, what kind of advice and counsel you would like to give it to the college and university students in the Tamil diaspora community around the world, and how do you want them to work hard to become successful in life? Please give us your take on that?
Sure. Well, there's a plethora of advices that I would like to provide, but to keep it short, I would like to first say that where there's will, there's always way. So meaning if you have the willpower to continue or willpower to do something, you're always going to find a way to do it. In addition to that, no matter what your disadvantages in life, whether it's financial means or whether you're in a raised in a single household, single parent household, you have an opportunity to better yourself, because the equalizer among everyone is discipline. If you have discipline, you will be able to be successful in whatever you do. So that's one thing that I want to encourage the youth to make sure they have discipline and willpower to do whatever they want to do. Number two that I want to mention is networking. Networking is really important, both for parents and as well as the youth among our community. There's several successful students, successful personas within our community that both parents and our students can reach out to if they have any questions or concerns. So I think you should make use of those resources and those persons that are within our community so they can get help with either applying for schools, whether it's filling out an application or anything else, any different programs that there are, they can receive help from the person that already went through the whole application process. So networking is really important. And last but not least, I want to say that both parents and students, they should follow their passion. Like, parents, don't push your students or your child to do something that you're interested in. Let this child understand what their talent is, find their talent, and then improve on that. Don't impose your interest or your beliefs onto your child or your student. Allow them to find their talent, and students out there, children, the youth, the Tamil youth, I want you to be able to be comfortable with what you're interested in and follow what you like doing.
Yeah, thank you. And then I have two factors that you talked about now, passions and discipline. Now, the discipline is the one that is lacking nowadays, and unfortunately, and most of our kids now, as they grow up 13, 14 years, and they take the different directions, and then they mess up their life. And unfortunately, that's the case. But with a passionate parents and their siblings, and I'm sure now we can, and that is part of our initiative. There's one that we slowly but steadily we want to give some good advice to the youngsters. And thank you, Peraveena, and we have come to the end of our conversation, and now I can thank you now for having come here to share your intriguing and tremendous stories of your background. And I know you can talk a lot, but unfortunately due to the time constraint, and we really want to thank you for your time and effort, and then we continue to wish you a great success in your medical school into 2020. And I want to also take this opportunity to thank our studio crew and then studio executive producer, Mr. Kaji Jananam Video, and the proprietor of the Jananam Video, and he has been there with us all the way to do a great community works. And thank you, Mr. Kaji Jananam. Thank you, Peraveena.
Thank you for having me.